Do not say I couldn't agree less when what you mean to say is that you totally agree. Hi guys, welcome to Fluently Speaking with Bola. My name is Omobolanle Adeshui. This is where we learn to speak the English language better. And today we will be talking about phrases you're probably saying wrong. Okay, so I mentioned one just at the beginning, and that is you saying I do not or I cannot agree less. What you mean to say is that you totally agree with the person. The right way to say that would be I cannot agree more. Because when you say I cannot agree less, it means that you're saying that you have agreed to the least. You've agreed to the lowest level you can ever agree. It means that you disagree and you can't disagree any further. Like you can't go any lesser or any lower. But when you say I couldn't agree more, it means you've agreed to the highest level, like to the peak of your agreement cadre, if there's anything like that, and you cannot go any further. So please correct that. Say I couldn't agree more unless what you're saying is that you totally disagree with the person. Number 2. Say whet your appetite and not whet your appetite, because appetite cannot be, they are not dry. You cannot pour water on them or make them wet. So what I'm saying is that action of making someone salivate or making someone look forward to something. Say for instance, you go to a restaurant and then they show you the menu to whet your appetite, or they give you some appetizer to whet your appetite. So say whet your appetite and not whet your appetite. Appetites cannot be made wet. Remember that whenever or when next you're about to say that, or write it down. Most times when you say it, it doesn't really show because they are most likely going to be pronounced the same way, except you're doing the proper pronunciation of making the H pronounced, like whet your appetite. But if you're pronouncing it the regular way, whet your appetite, you might not notice the difference until it comes to writing, and you want to ensure that you are accurate, you're correct in both your writing and speaking. And whet is an old English word meaning to sharpen. Number 3, he has made a 360-degree turn. Now, when you make the statement, you're saying that the person has gone right back to where he started from. So if what you're saying is that he has moved from one extreme to the other, what you might want to use there is that he has made a 180-degree turn. Now, for many of us who did mathematics, you would understand that the 360-degree is what makes the circumference of a circle. And so what you're implying when you say he has made a 360-degree turn is that you're saying he has gone back to where he started from. But when you want to say that he has moved from one extreme to the other, then you might want to make use of the 180-degree turn. Remember, the 180-degree is the angle on a straight line. Now, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 is a shocker, a big stunner. I particularly have to adjust on this one, and I'm talking about literally. Now, a lot of us say, oh, I literally did, I literally, but the truth is, literally is most times misused. Literally means actual or without exaggeration. So when you say you literally, for instance, if you make a statement like, man, I literally froze to death when I heard my name, it means you actually froze to death, because literally means actual, like you actually froze to death. And I'm sure you don't want to freeze to death. So this will take some adjustment, especially for me. Most times when we use literally, we actually mean figuratively, but we use it the wrong way because we feel that literal means figuratively. The right way to say that would be I figuratively froze to death. And you know that would sound kind of awkward, but if you know a better way to say it, you can let me know in the comment section. Number 5, Wreak and wreck. Now, a lot of people misuse or use these words interchangeably, but they are two different words. Yes, they are related, but wreak is a verb, while wreck can both be used as a noun or a verb. So for instance, you could say, the plane wreaked havoc as it skidded off the runway and caused a wreck. meaning the plane crashed and caused a lot of havoc, ruins, and all of that. So in that case, you're using wreck as a noun and you're using wreak as a verb. Wreak is always a verb, while wreck can either be a verb or a noun, depending on the context of the sentence. It is incorrect to say wreak havoc. Always say wreak havoc. But when you're talking about the ruins caused by the havoc that is wreaked, then you can introduce wreck. So the plane crash wreaked a lot of havoc and left a wreck in its wake. Sounds when you say someone is a wreck, means you're saying that the person is unhealthy, the person is exhausted, the person is of no use, the mental health of the person is not okay. It's a very terrible word to use on someone, except that actually describes the state of the person and you probably don't know how else to describe it. It is a terrible one. Number 6, safe haven. Safe haven is wrong. Why? Now, haven is already defined as a refuge, a place of safety. So when you say safe haven, it's tautology. What you should say is haven. Simply say haven. So the soft couch was a haven for our aching back. So say haven and not safe haven. A haven is already safe. Number 7, please do not say first come, first serve. If what you mean to say is that the first person to come will be the first person to get served, then the right or proper way to say that would be first come, first served. Served. Don't throw away your ed. Remember, I already talked extensively on that right here on my video where we talked about how to pronounce words with ed endings. So say first come, first served and not first come, first serve. Number 8, which is the final one, would pay instrumentally. No, instrumentally is wrong. In fact, instrumentally is not even in the dictionary. So sometimes I wonder, I think over time people just make up some words and it sounds correct and we just continue using it. Everybody's just okay and we continue using it without trying to check up or look it up in the dictionary if it's correct. But instrumentally is not in the dictionary and so it is incorrect to say can we pay or we would pay instrumentally. What you should say is we would pay by installment or we would pay in installment. I hope that's easy enough to understand. Which of those phrases have you been using? Which of the wrong phrases have you been using? And I also like you to drop in the comment section which wrong phrases, if there are wrong phrases you think people use, you hear people say, drop them in the comment section and let's learn together. So this is where we wrap it up today. Please do not forget to watch my other videos here and ensure to subscribe, like, share, comment. I'd like to hear from you and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.